Thank you for being in this class. The economy and social landscape of the entire world is changing fast and becoming increasing rapidly global. How companies will go uh, into the complex and fascinating uh, globalization? What the company need to do? All of this answer is not easy to respond. Well, there are several factors to consider, but most important and to the point is that we need to develop an extraordinary knowledge of cross-cultural communication and open mind. Creating a global mindset is one of the essential things for today managers because that gives such opportunities to look the world around in different perspective. Development and global knowledge and clear cross-cultural understanding is far from easy. It's critical. It is a need. And it's a need that we need to follow all the managers and people who dealing in international business. Only through fundamentals changes in the mindset and the incorporation of those changes into the reality and new ways of managerial styles, we can transcend to new sources of approach, a better dealing in international business. In this part, we're going to study what does it mean, how we can tie communication and culture. What does it mean culture regarding with international business? Why culture is so important in international business? We're going to also to go to the process of enculturization and acculturization. We're going to define and explore what does it mean the ethnocentric societies. In addition, we're going to study the norms, rules, role, and network in communication, in business, in cross. We need to understand also what are the most important communication barriers that we have in international business. And of course, we're going to analyze what does it mean the multinational management orientation or styles. The first question that I would like to point is, what is communication? There are several definitions about communication. We can spend days, years to come with just one concept, and it's almost impossible. But the thing that we know is that communication is central. It's central to our life. It's central to our experience. It's part of that what we're doing every day. Through communication, we learn about what happened in the world that we are with involved, especially in the business world. Communication gives us identity, either way collectively or identity, individualistic identity. But also they give us also a cultural identity. Through communication also we can maintain or we can develop relationship with others. With communication we can establish network, bonds, limits. And of course, through communication we can express our feelings and needs. There are three basic elements, important elements that we need to understand in communication. Our personality is the first one, the culture that we are involved, and of course the physical environment that surrounds us. All of these three things we call cultural connections. Mean is the successful communication that happen in between people, in between cultures, in between societies that we need to understand. And guess what? one of the major problems that we have in communication is when we deal with cross-cultural communication. Culture is one of the problems, the cross-cultural situation. We are so far from understand what's going on in different cultures. So this is the thing that we're going to point during this part of the class, and we're going to discuss extensively through the entire course. Communication process is a complex. It's a critical, complex, and we need to understand the communication process describe the process itself of sharing, but also to transmit messengers through words, through different kind of media or artifacts, material, to symbols, to whatever. But also, communication process is something that every manager need to know in order to communicate correctly and appropriately with their workers. Communication process also is a vital importance for the receiver and the person who received the message have different interpretation, and that's go more astronomical important when we deal with different culture, because you can interpret the message in different way. So we know now that communication and culture is very tight because we need to understand that kind of association. When moving into the area of international business, the need to be aware of cultural environment become a necessity and a critical part of our business life. So now we are involved in a situation that is not only the business, just the business alone, is the business, is the market, is the society or customer, but also the culture. So all of this together create a new environment. And all of this together is we call cross-cultural in international business. There are another question. It is culture essential to my success? Do we maintain a very tight relationship with the culture around us in order to, when we're doing business? I think that the answer is no. No, it is not. We don't do that. Why? Because we have inadequate managerial experience to deal with other culture. Usually, we deal with just one culture, our culture. We are very ethnocentric in that point. And we are a lot of technical skill to do it also. But also, we are a lack of cultural understanding. All of these things create a barrier to us. We don't have enough cultural sensitivity to deal in international business. And that's because we need to learn how to acquire all of this together and put together and learn, and then move to the next step.